Hi, and welcome to my new studio. 3 years ago, during the winter holidays, I got my wall, which used to be my background for filming, and I have a video about it. But with time passing by, I started to feel like this wall was not really enough for me. I began to feel somehow constrained and uptight there. I had been thinking a lot why it was happening. And I don't know. But anyway, I have decided that the moment of changes has come. We were doing a makeover the whole November, and it looked pretty much like this. And in December, except the huge load of work, we were furnishing our flat, but the whole weekends in Leroy Merlin and Ikea were worth it. As my working space, I chose the same table called Becant, which used to be in my old studio, but this time it has a different color. Now it's light-colored with white legs. My long-cherished dream is the Alex drawer. I think it looks perfect for keeping materials. After the table and the drawers, we bought Kallax for a TV, and after the New Year holidays, we continued furnishing my working space. There are also deep drawers at the bottom, so later in this video I will show you how I keep my materials in them. The hot tube from the radiator was pretty good at heating the drawers. It means that if we hadn't isolated it with this 20-cent thing, all the materials would have dried only after one winter month or even a week. Next goes the wall. Yeah, I decided to keep my hallmark. Just in time, I found such wooden boards in Merlin. Last time I was there, I gave up on the idea of buying such wooden lining, because there was only this typical wooden lining with such deepenings available. And I didn't want my wall to look like a lining. I wanted the wall made of boards, so we bought the boards. But we suffered a lot trying to do something with them because they still were quite raw, and when we began assembling the wall it started coming off and such gaps appeared, so we had to reassemble it. But this time we got lucky. There was a large lining available, which looked like boards, and it was really nice and already dry. Now I needed to decide on the width and the height of the wall, which I marked on camera. As it is not a background which you can move anytime, but it's a part of the interior, I decided to make it a little chopped, having looked at some pictures of wooden designs. A real trouble were these sticking out parts of the board, which we had to saw a little to get rid of them. By the way, in December I was at the finals in the Best DIY Blogger 2019 nomination in Russia. So many thanks to those who voted for me. Unfortunately, we didn't win the award, so there is something to strive for. But I won the certificate, which I could use to buy some Makita tools. Again, only because you supported me with your likes under this photo. So now I have this small circular saw, extremely handy thing, a screwdriver, which is also a handy thing in craft, and a new Makita sander. And it's awesome when your support in the form of likes can give so many new possibilities for art. So thank you very much. And as I have already told you, some of the boards had to be sewed on the sides, so this side wouldn't stick out that much. At first, it looked difficult. I even missed and sewed the board a little. But then me and the tool became like best buddies, and well, practice is what really matters, because as a result, I learned how to sew extremely accurately. There was a socket below, so I needed to sew the board and leave a spot for it. As I've already mentioned, these boards will be the part of the interior, so we decided that they wouldn't be just a wall, they would form a corner, so I sewed some more short boards. The next step is to smooth the corners with the center, and after that we can move on to staining. At first I was looking at paints, but those which I saw were either hiding the wood texture or I simply didn't like the color. The hazelnut and oak stain paints, which I do love, were too dark. But then I noticed this sample. The board was painted with mahogany wax. I thought that it was the best option. This color looked both interesting in warm and cold light illumination, so I took it. I applied it with a piece of sheer curtain from Ikea. And this texture didn't bear any difficulties. And this is how the wax for furniture looks like, and it's a pleasure to apply it. It is much smoother if to compare it to paint. It was my first time I used wax, so I was really nervous thinking how it would finally look like on wood in the matter of color. But it would have been possible to understand only after finishing the wall. Next we began to put the wall together. I needed to make the holes in the boards, and first I marked a dot every time measuring everything with a ruler. Then I was so tired of it, so I simply cut out a rectangular with the right proportions and began to put it to the corners of the board and mark a spot of the future holes. It speeded up the work a lot, so you can try using such a life hack. Next, we put the board on its place and make the dot in it for the future hole in the wall. Using a power drill, we need to drill the wall, hammer a wall plug, and only after that we can screw the board. My boyfriend helped me a lot with all these steps while I was drilling the boards, so we did everything pretty fast. And here is our result. The wall is awesome. It doesn't look like a dark, heavy blot. The wall fit in really well. It means that we can put the furniture back on its place. Back to the time when we were assembling the furniture, we attached the pads to it, so it was easy to move the furniture and we were not afraid to scratch the floor. Perfect. All we need is to move the TV out of frame and put some elements of decor instead. It's finally the time to fill the drawers. Actually, the transportation of materials was a huge difficulty to me, because I used to film on the countryside, in my room, in my studio, like I used to call it, where all my drawers were filled with materials. But I had been collecting them for 10 years, so don't think that I bought them all at a time. And roughly speaking, I was used to having everything I need there. And if I take here only part of it, I will definitely lack something. I could buy the materials I need, but it's extra money. If I try moving everything here, it won't fit. Plus, I don't want to take all the materials, because when the weather is nice, I would love to keep filming in the countryside outdoors. Because the advantage of filming there is also the possibility in any weather to put on slippers, walk outside and spray an artwork. And there are some difficulties with it. Well, okay. In a nutshell, most of my materials I kept in my drawers, which is pretty convenient. You open them and see everything. In the first one I had glitter and everything for decor, in the second one silicone molds in such boxes, and the small ones were combined and put into such pockets. Next I have some clay. All the opened packages I keep in such pockets, which were given to me by one of the AliExpress sellers. No matter how I try to reduce the number of these pockets, they find a way to come back into my life. But as I already have them, I've started putting clay into them. Before that, I used to keep clay in one big zip pocket, and it was also well preserved. In this drawer, I also have the materials from Ali, which have been waiting for their moment of glory for 2 years already. Also, a lot of dyed Dutch metal. Well, let's move on. Down here go the silicone cups and spoons, a box with different threads, a pasta machine, which I'll definitely take with me, and also some other stuff. On the shelf, which covers the upper drawer, I have resin and spray paints and varnish. Silicone paste, a cool thing actually, and I've already regretted that I didn't take it with me, so I'll bring it later. And there is also some cedar. Someone asked me where I take so much of cedar. The answer is that my grandparents planted it, so when I need some, I ask them to give me several twigs. So to the new studio comes the glitter, a pasta machine, by the way I need to paint its handle, alcohol inks and pigments, which you can use to dye resin, so I won't take other resin dyes with me. For decor, I will take only the basic elements and powder, soap dyes, UV lamp and resin, some cups, moss for sure, lots of stuff for a notebook, alcohol inks blending solution, materials for the future project, and only a small part of findings. The next important drawer in my room is right under the table. In the upper drawer there are the basic tools which you usually need in any kind of art. That's why so many of them will go to the new studio with me. In the second drawer there were always some paints, watercolors and a case with tools, which are so small that they could be easily lost in the first drawer. That's why they are here right at hand. And they will also come with me. Right there, a bit far away, there is a box with dyeing materials, and I think I'd never used anything from there, except the texture gels. Also, here are my favorite paints, but I won't take them with me yet, because my friend gave me the new ones as a present, so I'm really curious to try them. And yeah, I put them into the tablet box, so if I need them, I can easily take them all out. In the bottom drawers there were more stuff, like 3 boxes with unfinished resin things. I still want to make something out of them. And also down here I have sanders. On the table I used to have 2 pencil caddies. The first one with lots of stuff like scissors for paper and fabric, which I definitely take, my favorite small scissors, and the black ones, which I use for everything else. But here at my new studio I already have a new pair. And the second one is actually the mug from my old video, where I tell you why I am Masherisha. Here are some brushes and wooden chopsticks, which you must always have at hand while working with resin. There I also had 2 giant boxes under my bed, which you can take out like this and also see everything. But mostly there was not like the childhood stuff, more like things like crepe and velvet paper, which I got when I was 15 or even younger. And I didn't really use it, but maybe I will need it one day. So that's it. Probably one day we'll see what I have there. Write in the comments if you're interested. But for now I didn't take anything from there. And now we need to organize everything in the new drawers. At first I wanted to put the basic and main materials into the first drawer. But if I sit, I can't really see what's inside. And there are situations when you need to quickly take something out, so I put them into the drawer, which is right under my right hand. Here goes the glue, tools, coasters for work, different clips, and the findings go to the back, so that they will be at hand and at the same time nothing will accidentally roll back there. I have no pencil caddy yet, and I don't really know if I need it actually. So here also go the scissors, and the tiny things will be in such a box. Now let's go from top to bottom. I decided to put the glitter and pigments into the first drawer. I got Sahara pigments in such a box. They have quite a wide color scheme, and also one such bottle lasts really long. And recently I got the new Yuki flakes of different colors in the same bottles. So, to be able to find the right color fast in the future, I think I will mark the caps. The bottles perfectly fit into the box, so I put them into the back of the drawer. Here also go the glitter, and some more glitter, and different tiny stuff like sprockets, decorative elements, and other things. I'm obsessed with phone boxes, because they're so neat and made of really thick cardboard. So, to my mind, they are perfect for keeping things in drawers, because it's easy to reach them and pick things from deep drawers. I can simply take the front box and easily take out the second one from the deep. I am used to this scheme from the times when I worked in the previous studio, so I also follow it here. The UV resin, gels and a flashlight will perfectly fit in there. Some more bottles with glitter and rhinestones will also be here. I really like to keep tiny stuff in such bottles, which I bought specifically to pour things into them. Sticks for powder go to powder, some more pigments, and silicone cups will also go here, I think. That's it for this drawer. There are more things I could put there and clutter the drawers, but I don't really want to do it. So I left some free space, but now there is a pencil case which occupies it, but you can simply take it and use it without looking. The second drawer will be for polymer clay and other related things. But for now I have not that many of them. So let some charms and contour pendants be here for a while. We can also use them for clay, right? And some more findings and glasses. Yeah, I want to decorate them before summer. The third drawer. I have some samples of bags and an apron here. Yeah, I made such bags with the print based on my sketch. They are thicker than the usual bags because they are made of 2-ply yarn, so if you're interested, the link will be in the description. The fourth drawer I made for soap making, which I'm looking forward to taking up soon. But I have not enough materials for it yet, but I think that this drawer will be full of everything quite soon. By the way, I do regret that I have not taken my small silicone molds with me, because I could use them in soap making. Next goes the drawer with the project I've started already, and they need to be finished. The fifth one is for the main tools, and below I have the deep drawers. In the first such drawer I will put the paints. Here I have the sets of Vitrol, Moon and Prism paints. By the way, I placed the bottles a bit differently in these boxes, because initially the caps inside were facing each other. And if you want to put these paints like me, some of paint drains to the cap, and when you open these bottles, everything gets messy. So I replaced the bottles to make 2 even rows. And also, I need to do the same with the other boxes. I also marked the caps with paint to see which color in effect gives this or that paint. Because in the case of these bottles, it's difficult to understand what color is inside. In this cup I have contour paints, and I will definitely add there some more, because I really enjoyed Vitrol painting. And here go the new paints which my friend gave me. I haven't tried them yet, so I know nothing about them, but I like so much this color palette. Of course I won't keep them like this, because these boxes need a lot of space. But inside every packaging there is such a blank palette, on which you can apply some paint and write its name. And it is great, so I did it and also applied some paint on the caps, to save some time looking for the right bottle when they're all in the drawer. In this drawer I will also put the alcohol inks. I have Piñata, range rings, which go in sets with 3 bottles, and so I keep them in such triple stacks. I also have some bottles from Kamenskaya, but I've never used them yet. And all these bottles I keep in the Ranger box, which I think is quite expensive for a box. But if you have a lot of inks, it's quite handy. And it's really nice that different ink producers use the same bottles. Here I will also put the blending solution and a white color. I mean here to make it easier to take out the box. And here I will definitely put the box with paints. These things will go to the main tools drawer. And the next drawer I will fill with things for scrapbooking. I bought some new stamps which I need to seal like the ones you've seen before. The packaging in which they are sold breaks along the edge after a while, so I use a masking or a decorative tape to cover the plastic sheets on which the stamps are attached. It gives us a possibility to open and close them like an eyeshadow palette. They perfectly fit in there, and yeah, here go some new cool stamps from Ali. This year I tried this scrapbooking paper from AliExpress. Well, I mean I ordered it and received, but I haven't made anything out of it yet. But I'm going to decorate the January and February pages in my notebook, plus such paper is perfect for making photos of your artworks. As a person who loves decorating notebooks according to the seasons of the year, I decided to buy the tapes in such sets. It is really convenient and much cheaper. When I found out about such matte semi-transparent stickers, I became their super true fan. So I ordered such sets which are organized by colors. Awesome stickers, but it's not rational to give them in such boxes, so I simply put them all in one box. So no problem, I will deal with the colors anyway, right? The pads for stamps, which you've seen already, will also go into this drawer, as well as the acrylic plates for rings, the tapes… no, this rolling won't do, so let's put the tapes into a box. Some clips… By the way, I moved only part of my favorite wooden stamps here. Also some stickers and markers. Into the deep drawer, together with the threads, I put a huge UV lamp and a pasta machine, plus the 3D pen and plastic, also some pre-mates for the future projects, because they also need some space. As all my previous tables got permanently dirty, I decided to use more often such a protection for a table. And I'm thinking about buying one more cork pad for a different kind of work. Because this semi-transparent one is good for resin, because it comes off easily. And the second one is softer and more comfortable to work. This chair is also from Ikea. I prefer to sit straight rather than sprawling in a chair at my working space, because it helps to divide unconsciously the time for work and rest. So this chair suits me well. Because of the radiator, I can't move the drawer closer to the wall. But this space is perfect for keeping paper rolls like craft or wrapping paper. Plus, I can put here the ring lamp, which I bought in such a flat bag. Later I will put some curtains here, that's why the boards there are so short. And I'm going to put some flowers over here and an ivy. I hope it will grow right on this edge of the board and the wall to smooth the border. We thought about making the board wall up to the ceiling, but I don't know, we left it as it was. This wall might seem quite bare to you if to compare to what used to be here, but I want to plan the decor more carefully, and it makes no sense to delay the uploading of this video. So it is like this. I took off the lights from the fir tree. I didn't have a real fir tree for many years, so it makes me so happy. And it lasted for a month. These are the same stars as I used to have, but with batteries. So this one you need to plug in. I bought it because I don't want this situation to happen ever again, when you need to film already, but you forgot to charge the batteries, and it takes 12 hours to charge them. Actually, one of the reasons why we made a wooden wall is that you can hammer tiny nails with no worries that they will leave a noticeable hole. So it gives us a cool opportunity to freely change the exposition. All these changes wouldn't be possible without your support, because I managed to make YouTube my main job for now. And also, I want to thank those who donated to me during the stream when we were opening the parcels with your potion pages for our potion book. I hope this video was interesting and useful for you. Even more interesting things await us, so subscribe to my channel if you're here for the first time as my guest. Many thanks to my sponsors for support. I love you. Oh, it's much difficult to do it now. I love you all this much. Bye.